Welcome into Ravens Rundown. How you guys doing? Hope you're enjoying the weekend, enjoying the victory from Thursday electric game. And I right now am going to answer all of your questions from directly after it, okay? Got a lot of questions, got a lot of rumors, got a lot of things we need to get into, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the questions. Again, so thankful for all the questions you guys asked me. And this one's starting off from SC. Says, hashtag Ravens, despite the win, do we have to reevaluate the coaching staff? Okay, SC, this is a great question. I don't think we have to reevaluate the coaching staff as a whole, but I think we have to reevaluate a coach. And you're not going to be surprised to hear this name, but I think Zach Orr. Okay? I think he needs to be reevaluated because this defense is atrocious. And I talked about this on Thursday night on the live stream. But, you lost Jadeveon Clowney, you lost Patrick Queen, you lost Geno Stone, okay? You lost a lot of people. But there shouldn't be this big of a gap from the personnel you had last year, having the best defense in the National Football League and a top 10 pass defense, to this year and having a bottom 10 defense and the worst pass defense in the NFL, okay? I worry about this team's chances of doing things late in the playoffs because of this defense. You just can't, you cannot put it on Lamar's shoulders every single time. I hate to break it to you. At some point, he's going to have a bad game, okay? I hate to say it, but it's true. And what's the defense going to do there? Probably let up 30 points and 400 pass yards, okay? And so I think you got to reevaluate Zach Orr. I really do. Okay? And I don't think you need to fire him midseason, but I think maybe if the defense continues on like this the rest of the season, you take a look at him in the offseason and weigh your options because this just isn't good enough, okay? For nonstop coverage on the Baltimore Ravens all year long, live shows every single game, a video every day of the week, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Again, not a better place to be in the entire world if you are a Ravens fan on YouTube than right here on Baltimore Ravens Rundown. Next question coming up from my man Ryan Vu. He says, hashtag Ravens. Are the Ravens going to make to the playoffs? Yeah, I think so, Ryan. I mean, you're sitting here right now at, 7-3? I think playoffs are, now barring something tragic happening, are pretty much a lock, okay? Knock on wood. But what I'm kind of worried about is the division. Okay, I'm worried about the spot in the playoffs. I'm worried about possibly being that number one seed in the AFC, maybe getting a bye. I'm worried about home field, okay? Because as of right now, and the Steelers are playing today, they're playing at noon against the Commanders on Sunday. As of right now, you're sitting in second place. Now, if they lose, you go to first place. If they don't, you're still in second. You still got to play them twice. And I hate Pittsburgh, but they beat you twice last year, and they were a much worse team last year than they are this year. And you were a much better team last year than you are this year, okay? And so the fight for the division is going to be a little bit tougher than I thought, okay? So am I worried about them making the playoffs? No. But am I worried about them getting home field? Maybe. I think it might be a little bit tough, okay? Next one coming in from Cheryl Enterprise, first-time super chatter from Thursday night's game. He says, is Lamar MVP 3 times? Cheryl, I don't see how I could say no to this question. I genuinely don't. What he is doing this year, it blows what he did last year out of the water. I mean, out of the water. The way he's throwing the football, the way he's commanding this offense, and what you saw on Thursday, this running game, and even Derrick Henry, they couldn't get going. So what does that mean? It means Lamar has to take this team on his back. He's got to win this game by himself. Now, of course, it took Tylan Wallace, awesome pitch and catch, 70 yards for a touchdown. Of course, it took guys doing their parts like Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews, and that offensive line. But for the most part, Lamar won us this game on Thursday with his arm. 141.4 passer rating. That means he's averaged in the last 2 weeks a 150 passer rating. 51. I mean, how ridiculous is that? So it's really hard for me to look at you in the eyes, Cheryl, and say, no, I don't think so. Now, it's how the rest of the world feels, so I'm not sure. I can't necessarily answer that question. But if I had an MVP vote, there's no doubt in my mind who it's going to. It's going to number 8, 100%, okay? We're going to take a quick break to shout out the sponsor of today's video, and that is our friend over at Game Time. And Thursday night looked like an absolutely magical night in the bank. And if you want to be there next time, then I promise you, you should use Game Time to get your tickets. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals, with the highest value seats at the time. For some events, Game Time Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. Guys, Game Time is the app I go to. It's the only ticketing app I use. You get the lowest prices guaranteed. You get last-minute tickets and flash deals, and also you can see the views from your seat. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account or redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. Dylan Hare coming in with a question saying, is Mark Andrews the best tight end in the league? Dylan, I don't know. There's a lot of really good tight ends in this league. I think Kelsey's lost his fastball, so I think he goes down that list. But I think David Njoku's great. I think George Kittle's probably the best tight end in this league. But I don't think Mark Andrews is very far off. And what he's been able to do since week 4 and week 5, and if you remember, guys, there was trade rumors on Mark Andrews after the first couple weeks on the season, okay? And so it's like, man, what he's been able to do, the turnaround he's made, what he's meant to this offense and this team over the past couple of games and over the past couple of wins, man, it's been awesome. And so I don't know if he's the best tight end in the league, but he's a perfect tight end for this offense. He's the perfect tight end for Lamar Jackson, and I'm so happy that he's a Baltimore Raven. Okay. Ryan Vu coming in with the next question. Second one for him, saying, will Hamilton be back? As we are filming this video right now, Ryan, I am not sure. Okay. Let me check real quick. So, John Harbaugh confirmed after the game that Hamilton sprained his ankle, but did not consider it to be a serious injury, okay? So, I think that's a great sign for the safety, okay? Because it's a struggling secondary, but I'd argue he's your best secondary player, okay? So, if you take off the best secondary player from the worst secondary, that just means an even worse one, okay? And so, I don't know when he'll be back. If I'm being honest, if I had to put money on it, I mean, he will get a 10-day rest, so I don't know if he plays next Sunday. But I would be surprised, but I don't think he'll be out very long term. It might be similar to the Marlon Humphrey situation. So what is your confidence level in the Ravens? If you had to judge it right now, a couple days after the Thursday night victory, you're sitting at 7-3 on the season. You let me know down below on a scale of 1 to 10. This is the pinned comment on today's video. You're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. So when that time comes, go ahead, take advantage of that time. Scroll down to the comment section and give me a grade on a 1 through 10. Alex saying, hashtag Ravens, why are we not addressing the secondary? So, Alex, at this point, it's like there's not much you can do. Except in the video I talked about yesterday, there's a couple of free agent targets available. I guess you could address it that way. But, like, you kind of got the guys that you got right now. And how often have we heard John Harbaugh say, we like our guys? He's a guy that just likes his guys, okay? No diddy on that. Pause on that, okay? But, like, that is just who he is. And you kind of saw that going into this season, that they were probably just going to roll with the guys that they had. I don't know why they didn't make a bigger splash at the trade deadline. They added Tre'Davious White. He didn't play on Thursday. Maybe he'll play this next Sunday. But, like, I think you just can't address it at this point. That's kind of my opinion. I think it is what it is, and unfortunately, that's just it. Okay, we got Fred M coming up next. Second to last question on this one. He says, why is the Ravens defense struggling so much lately? I think it's scheme, Fred. I think it's scheme. Said at the beginning of this video, you only lost Jadeveon Clowney, Geno Stone, and Patrick Queen. And yes, those are three big names, but not three big enough to put you from the top 5 to the bottom 5 in terms of defensive rank. Okay? Like, you'd have to lose like a Nick Bosa and if that happened and the 49ers lost Nick Bosa and Fred Warner and then another huge key piece, you could see that move. But like it was Jadeveon Clowney, Geno Stone, and Patrick Queen. Sure, they were great players, but they shouldn't take a defense down 20 spots. Okay? And so I think it's scheme. I think it's defensive coordinator. And also I think it's just discipline. A lot of penalties hurt them on Thursday night, and that was plain. Okay? Last question of the day. This one's coming in from Chris HDHDHD. Hashtag Ravens. What do you think the final record is going to be for the Ravens? So they sit at 7-3. Let's pull up the schedule real quick. You're going to see how we do things live here. I think they lose 2 more games. Okay? So then that puts them at what? 12-5. That's my final prediction. I think Pittsburgh is tough this year. They're always tough. I think you go 1-1 with them. And then I think you split the Eagles and the Texans. So you maybe lose 3 more. But I think 11-6 to 12-5 is mine, okay? You heard mine. Now it's time for me to tell you, or you to tell me yours. Predict the Ravens' final 2024 record down in the comment section down below. Not 204 record. 2024. Alrighty, that will do it on today's episode of Ravens Rundown. I am your host, Joey Peterson. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Subscribe if you love the Ravens. Subscribe if you love the fact that they're 7-3. And appreciate you joining us. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your day.